It is 5:30, so we'll call this meeting to order. Ms. Swopes, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Ms. Cordova,
Here.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Here.
Mr. Merrick,
Here.
Ms. Parker. Here. Mr. Rackler,
Here.
Mr. Robinson,
Here.
Mr. Self,
Here.
and the only one absent is Mayor Miller. We have a quorum.
Thank you. If you will stand with me, Mr. Merrick is going to lead us in the invocation and Mr. Lopez will lead us in the pledge.
Heavenly Father, we come before your throne, thanking you so much for all that you do for us. We thank you for the rain that you're sending our way to replenish the earth, and we just thank you for all the many blessings that we each one enjoy each and every day, and help us to remember where those blessings come from. Lord, be with us as we take on the business of the city and surrounding areas, and let us to use wisdom in our decisions and guide our thoughts and the decisions that we have through your will. Thank you especially for the gift of your son, his willingness to be our savior. And it's through his name that we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Which is the flag of the state and silver, state symbol of early friendships among evangelical churches.
Thank you to whoever draped the flags. They look really pretty today. Okay, next item is public comment. The public has the opportunity to provide comment on subjects regarding city business. During the public comment period, speakers' comments will be limited to 3 minutes unless the mayor and/or council requests more information. The time limit is given in an effort to allow the public input, but to also move the agenda forward in a prompt yet efficient manner. All speakers must sign in at the beginning of the meeting. Topics are limited to six speakers per topic. Public comments are meant to resolve issues for speakers. However, speakers may be redirected to the appropriate city department for further assistance. Okay, we have a couple. Did everybody who wanted to sign in, sign in? Okay, perfect. We have two. Miss Mavornan Baca, she's going to speak on city issues.
First, I want to say thank you to those of you who fought for public comment. I know it was going against the grain, but thank you for standing up for the citizens and not caving under pressure. Speaks volumes. I'd like to talk to you about the IP plan. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I would like to address the pool being included. I understand that there are those who want to drop money into an endless pit, but I don't think that this is wise. It was asked of Joe to start working on getting grants for the repairs, but I believe her time is better spent on meaningful items, such as the other items ranked after the pool. With this being a living document, the pool should be deactivated. If the items remaining on the list don't suffice, here's a list of alternatives I would hope are adequate enough for grant seeking. These items will help not only with recreation items for our youth, but it will relieve some of the water issues since we have a $27.2 million reused water project that is not functioning. I would like to see basketball, tennis, and racquetball courts and volleyball kits built in the parks. This gives our youth places to play, and it cuts out the weed areas that are to be getting watered, the reused water. For an extra bang for the buck, it allows all our citizens who want to use these sports free access. The only place that these are available are through the college. Me personally, I don't want to have to be a student just to use their facilities, And I sure don't want to pay the big price tag that it requires to just use the racquetball courts. Let's give something to the youth that will get them back outside. Let's give something that gets families back together at the parks. But if you don't like those ideas, last I heard, we have a water issue, and we have a water tank that is gravity fed to our town. Why not take the time to find grants for a pumping system that could eliminate a small portion of our water problem? Thank you. And on a side note, thank you to whoever went and replaced our dumpster. Really love it.
Thank you, Ms. Baca. Okay, next speaker is Mr. Mark Clark.
Good.
You're good, okay. Okay, next item is minutes of the previous meeting. They were in your agenda packet for your review. Do we have any discussion on the minutes? Second. We have a motion by Mr. Merrick and a second by Ms. Parker. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Presentation items. Our first item is an employee service award to Araceli Vargas. She has a 5-year service award. Ms. Vargas had previous engagements with her children. They had games, so I'm just going to read this and then we'll make sure that she gets her 5-year pin. So the City of Portales presents this certificate of appreciation to Araceli Vargas in recognition of 5 years for your faithful service, outstanding performance, and commitment to excellence for the City of Portales Police Department. Her hire date was October 14th of 2020. So if you would just extend that to her and tell her that we appreciate her service, we'd appreciate it. Okay, next item is Fire Prevention Week. Charge into Fire Safety Proclamation for October 5th through October 11th, 2025. Mr. Kathy.
Pro Tem, this is our annual proclamation for the Fire Prevention Week this week. I think this is the first time in my 6 years of chiefs that it actually followed on council week.
Oh,
So,
nice.
but this year's focus is charging to fire safety with lithium-ion batteries and focusing on the safety involved with those. Question?
We have any questions or discussion?
Real quick, what kind of items have lithium batteries? So we know, cell phones,
So,
toys,
toys, radios. smoke detectors.
and they're highly flammable
Yeah,
and they'll burn through steel. Stuff like that,
yeah,
yeah.
very hot. Very fast.
Cool.
Well, we appreciate your safety efforts. Thank you. Next item, RCCDC Annual Report to Portales City Council from Ms. Diaz. Thank you, Jody, for joining us.
Just here to provide our annual update from the RCC. My name is Jody Diaz. I'm the Director of Economic Development, more commonly known as RCCDC. So this report is going to be from fiscal year July 2024 through July 2025. So if something is a little redundant on there, just know it is for that fiscal year. Here's our staff. We do have 11 board members. This is our executive board, and then we do have 7 voting members. I just want to start with, these are our stakeholders. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we are funded primarily by City of Portales, Roosevelt County, DNMU, and then also local donors. And along with any fundraising that we do as well. Just gonna start out, last year I did this at the end, and I wanted to start with just some of the results and events we have going on. Sorry, I know those are a little bit small, but some of it is professional development that's going on, recruitment trips, governor's conference. You see on there BRNE site visits, that's our biggest component, business retention and expansion, because about 80% of your new growth is gonna come from people within your community already. And then there's just some other projects on there that we had going on. So we'll kind of start with some achievements that we had this past year. So last year was the first year we did receive our certification through the state NMEDD, New Mexico Economic Development, and we did get recertified. So we got recertified this year, which that is a $40,000 grant that we get from the state for our organization. So it definitely helps with our funding. As I said, Summer Jam, I know you guys, most of you have seen this already, but we did host Summer Jam last July and then moved into Gus Macker this past June. And just here are a few pictures from the Gus Macker. We did wind up with 159 teams. So we had over 600 participants for that event here in Portela. Here we had a lot of great sponsors, so we appreciate everybody that sponsored and volunteered. It takes a lot of volunteers to run an event this large, so appreciate that as well. Annual banquet, we did partner with the chamber and had impactful collaboration. So there was Peggy with Vandals, they did get Business of the Year this past year. Talking a little bit about community development and involvement. So these are a few things. We have Portela's Military Affairs through the chamber, but I also sit on the board. So this was Tenant Appreciation Day. That was from last year, but we also had Tenant Appreciation Day again this year, this past September, along with the Military Appreciation Day at ENMU. As part of that, we do a community tour. We like to highlight our community. As we know, a lot of the military families do live in Clovis. Kids go to school in Clovis, so we like to take some time and highlight our community as well. And we do usually 1 to 2 tours per year. Just a couple other things in collaboration, some business after hours. It's been hosted. I don't know on that one. I started more of the chamber, but business table at the chamber, and then we have had pop-up shops there at the Enterprise Center. We do host a yearly hiring event. Usually we co-sponsor one in the fall and then we host the one in the spring. So we had that. I think we had about 85 participants come through that were job seeking, and there were about 40 employers that were there this year. New expanded businesses into Williams Livestock Ranch. They were based out of Clovis, and she has opened up. She is in Roosevelt County on the Medora Highway. She has a lot of events going on, so she's got started up there. Also, what used to be 311, which was a project that used to be the Stargazer, has opened and is now the Well. She has got opened back up and is operating and having events. Shelly Shopworks. I'm sorry, that was kind of what he did, but not where his location is. But he has opened up, and then just within, I think it's just been a couple of weeks, Portela's Family Urgent Care has opened, so we're happy to have another medical facility. I know it's kind of old news, but Sonic has moved across the road, and then also just within the past, I think it was 2024, the Psychiatric Care Center got open. Couple expansions, La Casa did have an expansion of their optometry, and then RGH has had several expansions from their emergency room, pediatricians, and then also I believe there's going to be dermatology. A few of the focus areas, as I mentioned at the beginning, business retention and expansion is going to be our largest component, which we're focused on, but also business recruitment, community development, and site readiness. So on the site readiness, the RCCDC, along with the Portela Development Corp, owns property out by the Portela's airport, and so we have been in the work on kind of getting that site ready. That's kind of been an initiative from New Mexico as a state and from the partnership with New Mexico Partnership on trying to recruit businesses into New Mexico, and then we compete to if anything Portela's Roosevelt County. Retail recruitment, there's a few events throughout the year where you go and there's a lot of chain retail places. So we did partner with Retail Strategies, and they went and did a gap analysis, and we found where our leakages were outside of Portela and Roosevelt County. And just for reference, fast food restaurants, sit down restaurants are our 2 largest gap areas at the moment. So anyways, I do have that provided if anybody would like to see that, along with our demographics and market areas, I'd be happy to share that. Just a few of the updates, we're trying to get our website updated, using different recruitment tools, as I just stated, retail strategies, and then we also use a program called Alpha Map that can help us kind of place, and we can also see, from your cell phone data, kind of where dollars are being spent, so that can kind of help if we have a tool to go off of to see where maybe the money is being spent, so we've been using that software as well. And I'll stand for any questions. We appreciate all of our community partners.
Thank you, Jody. Do we have any questions?
Not questions, just comments. I commend Jody for her work. She's really grabbed the bull by the horns and she goes to all these conferences. She talks to these businesses. She's got a stack of people that are talking to her about coming here, so just champion you for what you do.
Well, thank you, and I will say, as I've learned within the past years that I've been there, typically it takes anywhere from 1.5 to 3 years when you're looking at from recruiting a business until they're actually operational. That's kind of the time frame. So much slower than we would like for it to be, but we do have a few in the works and hopefully be breaking ground soon. So.
Great.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. Okay, next presentation comes from ENM WUA. Mr. Merrick is going to introduce our next guest.
Jacqueline Bowen, our deputy administrator, is gonna give a presentation tonight. It's from New Mexico Water Utility Authority. Good to have her with us. She's been doing a very good job. So Orlando retired, so she stepped in and taking over, so let's turn it over to her.
We'd like to welcome Mr. Mayor Mike from the Water Utility as well. Mayor Mike, our other Mayor Mike.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, esteemed members of the council. My name is Jacqueline Bowens. I serve as the Deputy Director of the Eastern Mexico Water Utility Authority. This evening, Councilor Merrick, Mayor Mike Morris from the city of Clovis, who serves as the Eastern New Mexico Water Utility Authority's chairman, and I will be providing a project update for the Eastern New Mexico Water Utility Authority, more commonly known as the Ute Pipeline Project. This slide shows a map of the Eastern New Mexico rural water system. On the left side of your screen, or the north side of the map, is Ute Reservoir. The furthest point south on the map, or the right-hand side of the map, is the community of Elida, which marks our southernmost point of our project. And the first project we'll be discussing this evening is Raw Water 1A. That's a 42-inch diameter pipe, 14 miles. This project begins at the existing intake structure at Ute Reservoir, and we are currently in the pre-bid phase of this project, working to determine an appropriate date to release the bid package. The next segment includes Raw Water 1B and Raw Water 2 projects, which together form a 42-inch diameter pipeline spanning over 17 miles. Of these, the Raw Water 2 segment is the most technically complex portion of the conveyance system. This section ascends the caprock, and to accomplish this, the project will include a 1,700-foot tunnel bore into the caprock and a 350 vertical shaft descending from the top of the caprock to meet the tunnel. The current status of this project is that the bid documents are scheduled to be completed by January 2026. Right. And the next segment is the Raw Water 3 project. This consists of a 42-inch diameter pipeline stretching approximately 22 miles. This project is currently 31% completed, with construction being carried out by Harper Brothers Construction. At this time, we would like to extend an invite, if you have not already received one, to our October 22nd groundbreaking at 10 a.m. This is located a few miles north of the village of Brady along Highway 209. The next segment of our project is the Finished Water 1 project. For location reference, this project begins at the site of our future water treatment plant and extends southward, connecting to the connection vault located behind Chavez Housing. This is a 39-inch diameter, 16-mile pipeline project that is 97% complete. The next segment is the Finished Water 3B project, or the pipeline to Portales. This serves as a continuation of the Finished Water 3A pipeline project that was completed in 2021. It runs along Highway 467. The Finished Water 3B project will establish a crucial connection between Portales and the water system at the Lime Street tanks. This segment consists of a 20-inch diameter pipeline stretching approximately 5 miles and is 93% complete. Remaining work includes fencing, painting, and land restoration. The next slide is the Elida Lateral project. This is a 4-inch diameter, 30-mile pipeline project. Will be primarily constructed within the right of way. Jacobs Engineering has started the 90% design process for this project. The Texaco Lateral project is an 8-inch diameter, 5-mile pipeline project. Construction will begin in December of 2025. The Texaco Lateral will connect from the Clovis water system at the Clovis Airport and extends eastward towards the Texaco water system. And at this time, we will review or focus on the Eastern New Mexico rural water system facilities. We will begin an overview of facilities at the north end of the map located at Ute Reservoir. This site will house a 28 million gallon per day intake pump station. This project is ready to bid, and the authority is currently pending funding to move forward with construction. Continuing south along the system, this slide highlights the Caprock pump station and storage facilities. The Caprock pump station is designed to handle up to 28 million gallons per day. In addition to the pump station, the system will include 2 3 million gallon storage tanks. These facilities are ready to bid, and like the intake pump station, we are currently pending funding to proceed with construction. And our last slide highlights the future 28 million gallon per day water treatment plant. Currently, we are constructing a pilot plant, which is approximately 85% complete. The pilot facility is located at the intake site at Ute Reservoir. Its purpose is to help the authority refine the treatment process, including chemical dosing, water blending, strategies for the full scale plant. The pilot water treatment plant will undergo a 6-month testing period, during which Jacob Engineering will evaluate various treatment methods and finalize the design parameters for the future large scale plant. And we stand for any questions.
Do you have any questions? Mr. Morris?
Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor Merrick, the rest of the council, thanks for allowing us here to update you on this critical project for our communities. And Ms. Owens did an excellent job taking you through it. As you can see, we're actively engaged in each major segment of the project right now, and currently on pace to be delivering water in 2031. No, that's not soon enough, but we believe that's what's doable, and so that's the track that we're on.
the FY 26 funding outlook, believe it or not, even though you watch what's happening at the federal level, the FY 26 funding outlook does look good for us. And we're very, very close to being able to claim that we're funded on the last of the large pipe, but she took you through that update. The raw water 1B and raw water 2 phases. We'll put those together, Lord willing, and that will be the last of the large pipe. And then literally the last of the pipe will be, a line and lateral, but moving along at a really good clip. And everything we do is you in mind, just as the rest of the members of the authority in mind. So thank you for your partnership. And as Ms. Golden said, we would stand for questions, and if they're tough ones, Councilor Merritt.
We have any questions?
I wish you guys could come up and look, watch some of the presentations that Jacobs puts on for us and our meetings up there. They have a spotlight each meeting and go through each phase of what's going on. And they had a spotlight presentation here just recently where they went out and showed us how the pipes are made in California, how they're molded, and those 42-inch pipes are so big and so heavy, they send 3 on the truck. So whole truckload is 3 pipes. So, and there's many joints that have to go into place. So it's kind of neat to get there, to sit there and watch Jacobs as they present a lot of these things. I'm a person that comes up with questions all the time, and as Mr. Morris knows, I come out with them every now and then, but they're always very good about answering and having an answer for us. So Jacobs is a wonderful engineering firm that we've hired to take on this project, and they are out in front of everything before it becomes an issue. So, and just one other comment I just want to make. This project, just about every phase, well, it has been every phase of it, has come in under budget. And on a government funded project, you don't see that very often. So this thing is run tip top, very well organized, very, very detailed. So just wanted to make that point.
Well, we appreciate the fiscal responsibility that you guys hold, so thank you, Mr. Thornton.
I know you folks have done a lot of work on these pipes and things. And all the time that we have a presentation, I never hear anything about backup. For example, pipes could burst. So do we have any preventive maintenance program established to go simultaneous with the introduction of the pipe? We're gonna put the pipe in the ground. So what are we doing to protect the pipe, and how has it been placed? Quote, around here we have heavy rock in the ground. I noticed out on 467 we use sand, but have you run it in those complications? And so how are you making plans to prevent? You can't prevent a leak. So what are your plans for backup?
Mayor Pro Tem and Councilor Robinson, as far as you're using the phrase backup, so what do you mean by backup?
Well, if we have a valve, do we have valves in place?
Okay, yes, sir. So so yes, there are plans. In fact, recently, Councilor Merritt mentioned the spotlight that we got at the last board meeting. They really took us through the facilities that will be located at our treatment plant, and actually showed us in a rendering where spare pipe will be, as well as spare parts for the system. There are some valves that are so specialized that you might not have an extra one, but you have a loop around that valve if you did, if need be. If a valve wasn't working, you could have a loop around it until one came in. But there will be spare pipe on hand for leaks that may occur, and probably will occur in a system. But a lot of that is prevented in the very technical and detailed high standards for installation. The way that pipe is installed and the compaction material that is used around the pipe, and you know, there's a lot of really high specifications about the compaction rate and the type of material that surrounds the pipe, and it's not just to, open a ditch, throw the pipe in and then bury it. And so, we have a lot of belief and a lot of confidence in Jacobs Engineering and their engineering plans. And then the way they manage each phase and hold that contractor to those really high specifications for installation. So all of that is being looked at, and of course, we're budgeting, part of your membership dues, part of our membership dues is going into the operation and maintenance, accounts so that we can, take care of maintenance issues as they arise. So
I appreciate that. I mean, it sounds like it's far-fetched, but reality, that's a mechanical process you were dealing with. And this is earth we're dealing with,
yes,
and we have caliche, and we have everything else, sand moving. And I probably won't even be alive when if we have a leak, I hope. But the point is that, do you have a backup plan?
yes,
And you do. That's what I'd like to hear. Thank you.
great question. Thank you.
Anybody else?
There's a
Yep.
groundbreaking pretty soon, right?
Yes,
For next phase.
October 22nd,
27.
my birthday.
Is that your birthday?
That's my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And Grady.
Where else would you want?
Be.
Nicholas did mention that, but thank you for highlighting that, groundbreaking, for raw water 3. And that's that pipe that, Councilman Merrick was referring to that comes 3 to a truckload. It's 42-inch diameter, 48-foot joints, welded steel, cement encased. And they're, the contractor is Harper Brothers Construction, and they're installing 10 or more sticks of that pipe per day. And so the groundbreaking ceremony is truly ceremonial because they're already a third of the way through that phase, but excited about being able to celebrate all the partners on the 22nd.
And for all you devoted women out there, we actually have a lady that is part of our team that goes in and inspects each one of those joints after they're welded and put together. She goes inside the pipeline on like a cart or a trolley or whatever. She scoots in there and inspects each weld, and tight spaces apparently don't bother her. That was another one of our highlight films. So
If I can add one more thing,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem counselors, if you cannot make the October 22nd groundbreaking on the 23rd, the very next day, we will be in this room for our board meeting at 4 p.m. So of course, you're always invited to our board meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you guys, we appreciate it. Okay, so for presentations, that completes that section, but I do have to apologize to Chief Kathy. And I should have taken the hint when you were asking about lithium batteries. I did not read the proclamation, so don't want to dismiss that. I want to make sure that we celebrate fire safety the way it was intended. So I am going to back up just a little bit and read that proclamation. So the City of Portales Mayor's Proclamation, whereas the City of Portales Fire Department is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through education, prevention, and protection. The 2025 Fire Protection Week theme, Charge into Fire Safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home, focuses on lithium-ion batteries to better educate the public about how to buy, charge, and dispose of them safely. And whereas the City of Portales Fire Department is committing to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our community. Fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the location where people are at the greatest risk from fire. And whereas Portales residents should identify places in their home where fires can start and eliminate those hazards. installing and testing smoke alarms, and establishing and practicing home fire escape plans significantly decreases the risk of personal injury and damage to home. And therefore, I, Veronica Cordova, on behalf of Mayor G. Miller, Mayor of the City of Portales, do hereby proclaim October 5th through October 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week through our city. I apologize. Okay, now we'll move on to action items. ENMWUA, Mr. Jim Lucetto and Ms. Bowen are going to have the governing body approval for Eastern New Mexico Water Utility Authority membership contribution invoice. That invoice was listed in your packet. Do we have any questions on the invoice?
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Merrick and a second by Mr. Rackler. I did want to just kind of reiterate, this is for our 26 member contributions. We have the member percentage of 22.9% based off of our population. So our member contribution for the year would be 807,785 even. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next is RCCDC LIDA. The governing body's approval of LIDA funding for qualifying entity, the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. Request for approval includes the following support documents and resolution 2025-38 LIDA application and the project participation agreement. Ms. Diaz. Yes, come on up.
So this is just our annual funding request from our leader.
Do we have any questions on the request for the financial support that we provide to them? Hearing none.
Motion. Approved. Funding for the.
We have a motion by Mr. Merrick and a second by Ms. Parker. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any
There's
opposed?
a resolution involved.
There's a
We have to
resolution.
do it.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call vote.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Rackford,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Sell,
Yes.
it carries.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for keeping me on task. Item 2, governing body's approval for resolution 2025-39 for LIDA funding for qualified entity Mariposa Builders Construction Company, Inc. Ms. Diaz.
This is the other FIDA application that we are requesting for funding. This is the same company that had the living facility, senior living facility, and they are wanting to add 7 senior units. And that's, they're asking $300,000 in LIDA funding to help assist with develop and construct those homes. Or uses.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Diaz?
Just out of curiosity, where will they be located?
Right next, on the same property.
Same property.
Just to the south.
Just to the south. Any other questions? What is the pleasure of the council?
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Parker, a second by Mr. Self. Mr. Swopes, will you call roll?
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Rackler,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
and Mr. Sell.
Yes.
That carries.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Diaz. We appreciate you being here. Next, we have our water department. Our next item is our governing body's approval of the land lease agreement renewal between the city of Portales and the state of New Mexico for the well field use. Mr. Minton.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. Bottom line up front, what I'm seeking is a yes vote to renew the agricultural lease agreement for the land out near the Blackwater Wellfield. Give you a little background. One, I recommend you approve it. The identifier is GO 1767. We need this to preserve our strategic interest in water infrastructure, maintain responsible land stewardship, and support future planning efforts. Back to the background, the city acquired the agricultural lease associated with this acreage following the purchase of a farm property in the area. The acquisition was strategically motivated by concerns that the previous owner intended to develop a pig farming operation, which posed at the time a potential threat to local water quality. Since then, the city has retired the agricultural irrigation on the property, converted the existing wells for municipal water use, maintain the lease and sublease the land for continued agricultural purposes. Additionally, the city holds water related easements on the adjacent state lands where the Davis Blackwater Ranch has explored expanding water infrastructure eastward. Rationale for renewal is basically it keeps anybody else from coming in and sub or leasing the land underneath us and doing a co-use that wouldn't be compatible with the interests of the citizens of Portales. It's in our best interest to go ahead and approve this renewal of this lease, as it would be cost beneficial. If someone were to come and try to lease it for a purpose that was not compatible with the citizens, it would cost us more to defend that, stop it from happening. The lease cost is approximately $2,000 for 5 years, $400 a year. It's a good value for the money and the time. This is not a resolution. This is simply a yes/no vote. I'm asking for you to yes vote to spend $2,000 for 5 years to ensure that we control that land and that water. We don't have to fight for it.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Mr. Minton?
This does give us drilling options.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have first right of refusal on that. Anything, if someone came up behind us and wanted to do a co-use and the state land office were to buy off on that and were compatible through their eyes, but not necessarily ours, somebody else could lease that land with us. By us leasing and having the first right of refusal to sublease it, it protects our rights and interests.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Mr. Robinson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now community services. Item 1 is governing body's approval to auction items from the municipal airport through a public auction, online or in person, along with approval of resolution 2025-40. Ms. McClellan.
Good evening, so. I did the PowerPoint and I'm sure I just wanted pictures. Okay, so this first one, as we all know, we read this up as the city, the county, we have a high level of accountability. So we're looking at things that are no longer in use or no use at the airport. We did a list, we sent it to an auctioneer to assign value. The auctioneer assigned some value, recommended some scrap and some trash. So we are here today to give you permission to take the items that you listed for recommendation for auction. Go ahead and do a private auction. This is a resolution with your approval, we then send it to the state for approval. And then if the state approved, we go ahead and do a open public auction for whatever was assigned value. Anything that wasn't scrapped, if it could be scrapped or thrown away, that is what we are seeking today. I'll answer any questions you may have. You have a list in your packet. They're mostly low dollar items, but some of them still bid, not one of the big.
Good question. We used to use public surplus. Do we have use anymore?
So this allows us to do online or in person. Our preference is to do it online, just like the airport is in the middle of nowhere. You don't want people flying around.
So you still do that, yes, so that's our preference, because this is a lot of people talking, you know, there as well. Thank you.
Any other questions?
We have other items at other locations that can be all taken out there, auction at the same time.
We could, I do know that Mr. Steve was not here, is also on a separate auction list for options with the department, but I do believe he's gonna have those done when items are located.
Any others? Kelly, I do have one question on here. The list does have like the items with the dollar amounts, but the ones that are for scrap or disposal are not on here. Can we get a list of those, just so we have it? Okay, if you could email those to us tomorrow. Or when you get a chance.
I'll have some pictures.
Perfect.
By the end of
Well, I had that on the screen that.
Okay, what is the pleasure of the council?
Move for approval.
No, we have a motion by Mr. Robinson and a second by Mr. Self. Miss Daniel, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Rackler,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Self.
Yes.
It carries.
Okay, thank you. Item 2, governing bodies approval for ratification of grant 3-35 0061 031 2025 to install wind cone segmented circle.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So I do like bringing the airport grant, so to a matches, that makes people proud about myself. So this, we've done the design work, we just go to the council, and we also approved the construction grant for the state portion. This is the grant for the federal portion, you know, the federal and the state pay the majority of our airport grants, and we pay a very small match. So this, the only difference here is the state with one grant, 2 projects, the federal has split that projects into 2 separate grants. Those are 2 grants that you're reviewing today. This grant is for the upgraded wind cone and segmented circle. I attached the wind cones and segmented circle to provide. The total project is $307,000, $810. And the federal is paying 95%, the state is paying everything but 0.5% your matching. We're just paying the segmented circle and the wind cone is pretty fancy with that. We're pretty much replacing a just the wind cone with. We'll bring that report up. If you have any questions, we'll have to answer this.
Questions? Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the council?
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Merrick and a second by Ms. Parker. This is a resolution. No, this is not a resolution. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, the next item for community services, governing bodies approval for ratification of grant 3-35 0061 32 2025 to install runway visual guidance system 0119 construction.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Council. This is the second part of that federal grant. This is, they're paying a 90%. The state is paying 9%, and they 1%. The total project is $360,907. This is to just do cappies at our airport. We have had these in the past, but they are non-functional. So we are replacing them with new cappies. As you can see from the picture, it's just a visual aid to allow the pilot to know if they are coming to the landing zone, if they're too high, too low, or absolutely perfect. It is a safety item that FAA is happy to help us pay for. The design work is done, so this will lead to the actual construction. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none, what is the pleasure of the council?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Ms. Parker and a second by Mr. Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, governing body's approval of the donation of a vehicle from the city of Albuquerque Animal Welfare Department to the city of Portales Animal Control. Fun.
Longer. So earlier this year, we noticed that some of our vehicles they were retired from the police department before we got them, so our patrol vehicles are in pretty rough shape. We are working with Ms. Lily to get budgets for new ones. In the meantime, we reached out to some larger animal welfare operations, specifically Albuquerque and Santa Fe, to ask if they had any vehicles that they were willing to donate, but they were no longer using. Because you noticed that both of them got new vehicles for the fiscal year. Albuquerque was gracious enough to get back to us and say, yes, they had a van, transport van, that they would love to donate for us. We were working on it for a while, but they are finally ready to take those steps, putting it in paper and getting that transfer over to our fleet. One of our main trucks didn't have engine failure and then completely retired and Jim went fixing it. So this would replace that vehicle. This came at a very good time. It's not brand new by any means, but better shape than what we've got, and we'll continue to keep us while we work on our budget. If you have any questions, love to answer them. If not, I'd like to see if we get a census donation and we're gonna get the van down.
How many miles this thing have?
I have a little over 100,000. But they have a very good maintenance program, so they take very good care of the vehicles.
The Dodge, you said?
It is a van, it is a river. Chevy cargo van.
It's a Chevrolet, that's good.
We don't advocate for any brand specific. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say thanks for doing this. This is a great way to get us another vehicle in here without a great expense to the city. Well done.
Thank you. If we could get a thank you card so that we can sign to send whenever we send the paperwork that we need.
I love that email.
Yes, pleasure of the council.
Second.
Are you spending the show now? I'm Mr. Merrick. Mr. Bell. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I don't think these people ate dinner tonight. Okay, let's move on to finance. Item 1, governing body's approval to plan, design, construct, furnish, equip, and install improvements to the pedestrian facilities and walkways to Portales through Project J3089 with New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration. Ms. McVeigh.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, thank you tonight. So this is one of our capital outlay projects. And this is for improvements to pedestrian facilities. It includes things like completing sidewalks, upgrading our ADA to current ADA, PROWAD, which is public right of way accessibility guideline standards. And we're requesting that you accept the award that we've been given for 100,000. There's no resolution needed, it's just an acceptance of the award.
Do we have any questions for Ms. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Will we be upgrading our restroom facilities in our park?
So that one is a little bit of bigger question or bigger answer. Then I can think that's not something that I can really give.
Yeah, so I'll weigh in on this. When I talked to Ms. McVeigh earlier about this, so our approach to this is 1, accept the grant money. Then 2, slow down a little bit. We have a little bit of time to spend it. I believe we have to obligate this money and execute it by 2029, June 30th. So our approach to this is hold an associated town hall with recommendations from the community on facilities improvement, et cetera, at TAO, as well as a racked and stacked list of facilities that we want to approve based on city council input. So we want to secure the funds, develop the timeline, incorporate the citizenship, get involved with the projects that we want to use this money for. Now, keep in mind, this $100,000 is for A&E really, and then move forward with the things that we see as most valuable to the community and do this. So we have some time and we don't want to take that time to get this approach in the best interest of the city. When it comes to the restrooms and such in the parks, that's pretty complex and she's not wrong because now we have to secure them, open them at a certain time, keep people from living in them and things like that. It's not easy. So the restrooms are particularly touchy and we have to look at that when we look at the rack and stack order of merit for how we're going to spend these funds.
Very good, thank you.
If I understood you correctly, this then, Mr. Mitten, that this is mostly A&E because that's not very much money.
No, it's not. And I believe that that's the way it's written to
Okay.
begin with. Yeah.
Any other questions? What is
I
the,
make a motion, we approve.
Second,
we have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Mr. Reckler. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, governing bodies approval of resolution 2025-41, applying for a cost share waiver for the transportation project funds, the TPF, through the New Mexico Department of Transportation. We are asking for our share of $150,000 to be waived for HW2LP 20065 South Avenue South Avenue K project.
Did we skip the new motor grader? Number two, item number two. For finance.
Oh, we did. Okay, let's move back. Governing bodies approval to purchase a new motor grader project J3088 through capital outlay for the streets department.
I thought, looked at it, so we did it.
I checked it off. I thought we were.
So, right up front, this is not a resolution, this is some. Yes or no on this. I'm requesting a yes vote from the city council to formally accept $350,000 in capital outlay funding from the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for the purchase of the motor grader. Background and justification, the city of Portales currently owns a motor grader, however, it is non-operational and it's well beyond its fiscally responsible repair capability. Its reliability and performance no longer meet the standards required for effective road maintenance. Continuing to rely on this equipment is not in the best interest of the community. The acquisition of new motor grader is essential for the city to repair and replace roads at a level that goes beyond temporary pothole patching. Even with future investments in road ripping and replacing equipment, stuff that kind of things we saw at the municipal league conference, those pieces of equipment will still require water trucks, rollers, and a functional grader to lay those roads. Without a functioning grader, our ability to maintain and improve the road infrastructure is severely limited. I'm asking for you to accept the $350,000 grant to secure the auto grant.
Thank you, Ms. Renton. Any questions?
I have one question. Do we have an operator?
It's a Chevy.
No, do we have an operator to operate brake?
I believe we have a heavy equipment operator that can operate the grader. Now, we have not been operating graders lately, because ours is broken.
Okay.
So is there a training curve? Yes. But do we have a heavy equipment operator yet?
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Parker, a second by Mr. Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to, item 3 that I just checked off. Governing bodies approval of resolution 2025-41, applying for cost share waiver for the Transportation Projects Fund, TPF, through New Mexico Department of Transportation. We're asking for our share of $150,000 to be waived for HW2LP 20065 for South Avenue K project.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
McVeigh.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. So when we applied for the transportation project fund, we selected yes. That we did plan on applying for the cost share waiver. And whenever we did that, then we were given a opportunity to be able to bring a resolution. So this is a resolution that we are asking approval for so that we can submit to NDOT and ask for the waiver. And we would be waiving our share of the $150,000.
Do we have questions for Ms. McVeigh?
That's good.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Merrick and a second by Mr. Rackler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a resolution. It's a resolution. Roll call.
Okay. Ms. Quindell.
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Rackler,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. South.
Yes.
It carries.
Motion carried. Thank you.
It's the purple shirt. I know it is. It's distracting.
I think so. Okay, we'll move on to the fire department. Governing body's approval of the New Mexico Capital Outlay Grant Agreement. Capital Appropriation Project, the number 25-J3087 for 150 to purchase and equip a pumper fire apparatus.
Antoinette, if you'll bring up the first picture. Last fiscal year, FY 25, we received funding from the fire protection grant that helped us purchase this fire engine. If you go to the next picture, $805,000 later, it doesn't have equipment. So we're seeking your approval for this grant agreement with the Mexico Department of Finance Authority to utilize this $150,000 to fully equip this Class A pump. And I really wish that we could purchase one for $100,000, but
I was gonna ask,
Yeah, we were ready for that.
where that was gonna come from.
the original chart was purchased $600,000, but fire protection grant funding $205,000 out of our fire. So now it comes from the county.
What kind?
It is a Ferrari. It's Spartan chassis.
Chest house.
I did chest.
They can put a Chevy sticker on it.
Yeah, this is a cookie cutter truck that we had to get. I walked into the fire station and Tachi tells me we have one truck that'll pump. It's our ladder truck. They had it on the lot. We got the grant. I had to be able to have that. So it's not perfect. It's not exactly what we wanted, but it is here and it can go into service in the event another truck goes down, and then hopefully with it equipped, it'll serve our community very well.
Thank you. It's not a resolution.
So
So
We have a motion by Mr. Robinson and a second by Mr. Merrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Police Department's turn. Item 1, governing bodies. Public hearing for amendment to ordinance 765 for the city of Portales speed enforcement ordinance. So our first item is we need to move into public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Parker, a second by Mr. Rackler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we are now in public hearing. Did you want to just go ahead and explain first, and then I'll ask if there's any questions?
Yeah, council. Yeah, and this is just a brief amendment to our existing ordinance that we have for the photo enforcement camera. Currently, the ordinance allows us to use the funds that are collected for traffic enforcement, traffic safety. What we're asking is to just add our youth programs into it as well. So this will allow us to spend money for our school resource officer to get different things to hand out at the schools, such as safety training, driving training. We've been able to pull that off so far for impaired driving, as well as like programs such as our Santa Cop and even help out with the sports need as well. But mainly for just in general for the kids, so we can pump that money back in to our youth to hopefully help make them grow up into better individuals that we don't see too often.
Okay.
How do they, how is it determined, how do you split that, or is there a certain percentage that you would ask for?
I think at this point in time, what we did this year, this was our first fiscal year with a full collection from last year. So Ms. Rivera gave us a budget in that line item. So we can kind of use it however we need to support This year, it may be more towards just the school resource officer, get them loaded up with things for kids. Or maybe it's gonna be help us work that a little bit more, or maybe it'll be to by the flashing speed limit signs, you know, hey, slow down, you're going too fast down here. We're kind of pricing those out right now to see what we can, which one would be the best fit for it. So far, we've used it to buy like 4 lights that are here on Abilene. Again, we've used it by an impaired driving fleet, our school resource officer that takes to school. You know, with the goggles and different things like that. So I think we managed to just figure out what the best way each year is based on our needs as a community.
Do you know approximately how much we've earned off the speed cameras?
That ask Ms. Rivera. I can tell you that I've seen about a 30% drop in violations since we started. That's the number that's important. I haven't bothered to look to see how much stuff or anything else, but the reduction in speeders next to our schools is by 50%.
I think that's what I was gonna say, when you said education, I think if any one of us, and I think all of us have not, or have, which not already, gone through and received a ticket, so you contributed, but I think it's but and then word of mouth, I mean, it's just like, you know, put your cruise control on going through, because whether the school's in operation or not, it's going to be enforced, so I
And
mean,
they're-
it's just.
And they're there for us around the clock. We can't be everywhere all the time, but those can be there 24/7 working for us. And I mean, there's other benefits to them as well. The way it is, civil violation again, it doesn't go on your driving record. Which means it shouldn't impact your insurance.
Right. Correct.
So.
Just renewed mine, correct?
So I mean, if we give, if we're sitting there handing out speeding citations in the school zones. Obviously those carry much more points than a civil violation that have none attached to it.
If you could, at a future point, I would like to know how much in tickets was sent out to people, and how much they paid. I'm just curious. I think the council would like to know that.
Right.
If we're only getting 30% return, or we get.
Well, out of it, it's $100.
Yeah, I know that.
It's $100 violation by the state. State said that. Of which the company keeps $28. And then. Trying to figure it out for the first time around, Ms. Rivera came up with a 2% savings that would keep out of it to recoup her costs for having to do all her work with the finances on it. And then we repay the city for the overtime costs for the officers to prosecute those, or well, not really prosecute, but take us to the hearing if need be, and to process them. So that's how it's truly zero cost to the city, is because we need to recoup everything that it would cost the city. The company maintains the systems completely, no cost to us, that they do electricity on and everything. So
There is an option for community service.
yes,
Yes, so. Actually, you get paid better than most minimum wage employees do.
the law requires that it's $25 an hour credit, so only 4 hours.
Mr. Lopez?
I'm one that's not very happy. I voted no for it, but I was gonna ask you, how did you come about the $100 fine?
The state said it's in the state.
That's what you said now, but that was my question. But the people that's really hurting is public. You know, people that don't have any money, they have to come up with $100.
Yeah,
I'm probably the wrong person. I'm not the jury part of it. I'm the law enforcement part of it. I mean, that's where they have the options to.
But you're the one that brought it up, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You came over here and asked us
Right.
to
Because-
accept it.
Yes, sir. And I think it's working pretty well.
I don't like it because.
30% reduction.
Because, let me tell you why I don't like it, because even if you're, it's not the school zone, you're still giving tickets if you're going over 25.
I'm not gonna
24
say
hours.
how fast.
24 hours,
Yes, sir.
24 hours a day.
Right.
That's not fair for the people.
I think on the flip side, you've also caught offenders going 40, 50 plus miles an hour, maybe faster. Oh, okay,
Hold on.
Even when the schools are.
Yes.
so I don't feel so bad if they're driving that fast.
So are they?
Hey, you can just
avoid the street.
You can just sit over there and bypass and you can run at 70, 80 miles an hour there. I don't see nobody else. You know, the law there trying to give them tickets.
I'm still working with the company to try to get, everything together so I can take it to DOT to try to get them on the highway.
State highway.
Because unfortunately, because being state highway, we can't put anything out there. They're
Going
okay.
through them.
But I've had a lot of businesses request them along Chicago and the one way. And then when we did the speed study, it was right in front of the fire department there in the Brown School Zone that we had people going into meetings during the speed study.
See, when aren't you on the list to make a presentation with the Department of Transportation?
Trying to get everything together.
Oh, but you're gonna make that, because at the last meeting with the state, I thought they gave you an opportunity to make that presentation.
The last time I went in front of the state on it, they were trying to figure out the process.
Okay.
And yet during that same meeting, they allowed Bernalillo County to put these same cameras on state highways up there in Bernalillo County.
So there is a possibility that you're gonna be on their list.
Yes, sir. Just as soon as I get the company to get me the engineering and everything else, they would have to provide, well, put those up, because of course, being along state highway, they want the safe rated poles for them to go up on the breakaway poles and such, so we can't just go on.
I've heard of this process for the youth. And I think that's almost a win-win situation. Police department involved with the youth recreational program. I'm so excited about that. TJ talking to coming out of retirement to coach basketball again. So I told him I would if he get some money to buy the uniforms for the kids. And that's one of the struggles. Some of the kids can't afford uniforms. I know everybody said that they should be able to, but they can't. So are you gonna give some kind of scholarship grant to families who can't afford a uniform for the basketball players?
I mean,
Is that illegal?
There's been, I don't know that the city can do that. That'd be a question for Ms. Rudd, if that's violating by donation.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But I know there's been individuals in the community I know that I've been told have sponsored children, things like that. And if we can do something that would cover everybody, then I know we're good. So we can help the program as a whole. I don't know if we can help individuals.
I probably end up sponsoring my own team, but the point is that there's a lot of kids
Right.
won't be able to.
Yes, sir. And as we've seen and heard from many different law enforcement agencies around the state, as well as our district attorney up in Bernalillo County, that juvenile crime is a huge problem across the state. And I've been up there in Santa Fe at some of these other committee meetings over the last year, helping to advocate for something to help, along with Representative Reed, who's really been leading the charge on trying to get that done. But I mean, we all know that the most impactful time we can have those kids is when they're younger. So if we can use this to help facilitate getting to them, reaching them sooner, I think it's better. Right.
Okay, so at this time, I would like to give the public an opportunity to speak because we are in public comment. So is there anybody from the public who would like to speak in favor of this topic? Anybody in the audience who would like to speak in the opposite against the topic? Okay, hearing none, we will take action to close the public hearing.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Robinson, a second by Ms. Parker. And then now item C is action by the council as a result of the public hearing. Do we have any further discussion that we need to have on this? We just voted to come out. Oh, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Okay, that's to come out of public hearing.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, okay, so everybody say yes. Okay, now item C, action by the council as a result of the public hearing. Any further discussion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Mr. Rackler and a second by Mr. Merrick. All in favor? Any opposed?
No.
Okay,
I do think because it's an ordinance, it would be best if we do a roll call vote.
okay, we can do that.
Okay,
Go call the roll, please.
okay. Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
No.
okay. Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Rackler,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
and Mr. South.
Yes.
Okay, there was one yay and the rest were positive, so it carries.
Thank you, Mrs. Swopes. Okay, next item is governing body's approval of resolution 2025-42, allowing the Portales Area Transit Department to unite with the Portales Chamber of Commerce and serving a common goal of safety, providing transportation to Portales area citizens and shuttle services to Cannon Air Force Base South Gate in attendance to the Peanut Valley Festival scheduled for October 18th through the 19th of 2025. Ms. Swopes.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, council, for letting me have this next few minutes of your time. And this was presented actually in a way, informally, perhaps, by Mr. Mitten, our city manager. And he had been in negotiations or discussions with Lady Parkey, who is the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. And it was her idea to utilize our PATS transit vehicles. And in order to create safe carriage of participants at the Peanut Valley Festival, and very particularly for her, the Beer and Wine Festival that will be happening during the Saturday open hours. So she just wanted to utilize the vehicles to make sure people were safe during that time. So that is how, after speaking with her, that is how I geared the resolution that is before you. Resolution 2025-42. And if you've read it, you will see that basically we're providing our two experienced NMDOT certified vehicle drivers and then two of our vehicles. We are going to open it up for Portales participants. Hopefully we can get some promotion out and they can call and schedule those rides for Saturday. But other than that, I'm hoping that working with this party, we can get a schedule built for the Cannon Air Force Base South Gate individuals. We're focusing on families and personnel from Cannon. And I will stand for any questions.
Thank you.
Questions?
What is the maximum that it holds each van or the van, right? The super large, I say super large van, not technical or motor oriented. So that's, I'm going to say 8 people without service operational life closures. So does that help? I would say 8 to possibly 12, depending upon how they sit.
Why do we have to have a special reason, vote to make this doable? I thought the purpose of the transportation system is to provide this kind of service. And why do we have to single it out, say it have to be separate?
It's outside of this. Yes.
It's outside,
city
okay.
limits, it's outside
our standard scope. It's outside, the answer is outside of city. That's part of the answer. It's outside the scope of our standard use for these vehicles and for our drivers. So what is that standard use? It is detailed in our contract, which you get an MOA, a copy of the MOA submitted to you for approval every single in beginning of the grant season. We have yet to get this year's, but you could have one like from last year. That would be exemplary to you if we were to read it exactly what our scope is. And so this is just extending that service just a bit. It's allowing us some in-kind service towards what we owe, like on the grant, our portion, our matching funds for this particular grant.
And if I may,
Yeah.
I believe Pat's, we service the city Monday through Friday,
Yes,
and this would be on the weekend, so even that time is outside our normal scope. And so the parameters to meet the grant requirements are very specific. So this is a resolution designed to acknowledge and accept everything that comes with that and allow us the legal mechanism to operate outside our normal operating range and normal operating hours.
And I just wanted to ensure that the contract or the resolution was reviewed by Ms. Rudd.
Did not submit it to her.
Okay. Ms. Rudd, have you had a chance to look at this to make sure that we're in compliance with everything?
No, I have mentioned a couple of concerns to Mr. Mick, and then this, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Antoinette also mentioned to me just now, that she wanted to check with the insurance company to make sure that they would still for us outside of that, so. So that's where we're at with it.
And so we're kind of on a short suspense on this as well. So the event goes on the 18th, I believe. And if we don't, so here's how we're looking at this. We're moving forward to be prepared to, as opposed to not doing it because of a time restraint aligned with the Open Meetings Act. Otherwise, we'll just miss the boat. That being said, there's a high probability we won't do this. Talking to the Chamber of Commerce today, one ticket is sold to, so one person from Cannon Air Force Base so far is expressing interest in going to the Peanut Festival beer and wine portion. So we want to be prepared to facilitate in case there's a rush towards the end. But right now, it looks like unless that dynamic changes, that this probably won't, this juice will not be worth the squeeze. But we want to be ready to do it if need be.
Okay, and we do want to be good partners to, of course, our citizens and Cannon Air Force Base. I would just recommend that and I know we're on the time crunch. If it's on the 18th, our next meeting is not till the 21st, so we don't have time for tabling or anything to get it reviewed. I would just recommend that anytime we have a resolution, Kimberly is our attorney, so if we could just run these by her really quick, just in case there's anything that she needs to provide for us, that is why we have her here.
so I guess at my point, I ask this question for the attorney. Are we in good stead passing this?
Mr. Robinson, to be honest with you, I can't tell you that at this moment, because I haven't been provided the grant documents in order to say. And so I couldn't properly advise the city at this time to tell you that. However, I can tell you I can get with Ms. Wolf to get those information. I will get with Antoinette, to get with our insurance company to make sure that before it is executed, the city has done everything it needs to do.
So can we make the recommendation that we approve it with the caveat that if it doesn't fit with our insurance or it doesn't fit with something that legal is concerned about, then it's can't. Can we do it like that? So we can.
Ms. Rudd, can we do it like that?
What concerns me is that is not how the resolution that you would be signing is drafted. And so, then there's the provision of you presenting your own resolution, which you wouldn't have the option to do until the next council meeting, which will be beyond the 18th.
Any further discussion? Okay, with that information, what is the pleasure of the council?
I move that we approve the recommendation as presented. Even though I had a lot of concerns.
We can't take, well, there's a motion.
There's a motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Robinson and no second, so therefore the motion dies. Moving on to the next item, city manager.
Thank you, council.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Next item, city manager, governing body's approval of resolution 2025-43, supporting the city of Portales and the joint MOU promising participation in support of our local military with the city of Clovis, County of Roosevelt, and the county of Curry. Mr. Manning.
Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. I'm requesting your support and yes vote on resolution 2025-43, which declares the city of Portales formal support for the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation and LDC grant application submitted partnership with the entities you mentioned, City of Clovis and other entities. Project overview, $525,842 grant application led by Clovis, supported by Portales, Roosevelt County. And Curry County is designed to fund the comprehensive readiness infrastructure study in support of Cannon Air Force Base. The study will address key regional challenges, including water supply and quality, land use compatibility, energy security, wastewater infrastructure, and aviation access. These issues are critical not only for long-term sustainability of Cannon Air Force Base, but also to the resilience and development of our surrounding communities. Deliverables are what we will get as a group of communities in return. As the project includes a tabletop exercise, a GIS mapping component that maps out all of the portions of this that I've already mentioned, both of which will provide a valuable data set and strategic planning tools for local governments to support communities for future planning. Our match commitment, or the match commitment across the board, the total municipal match required is $5,584, to be met through in-kind contributions proportionally, split cash contributions across the municipalities. Based on our participation, Portales' share of the match is $9,411.30. Why we should support this grant, there's many facets, but basically this research is going to help us with other communities identify some of these critical infrastructure opportunities. And it will also potentially give the green light and go ahead for larger, more grand projects in the future. So I'm asking for you for a yes vote to support by providing, when asked, $9,411.30.
So this is the grant packet that was emailed to you all, that we provided like 3 or 4 meetings ago. Mr. Morris, if you'd like to come up and speak on behalf of the grant, you are more than welcome. Mr. Morris is the chair for the organization, and they have taken that heavy lift of processing the grant and their time. That's part of their commitment to this. So, Mr. Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and John Fritters. Mr. Litton did an excellent job of describing what we're considering here. I'll do sort of the layman version. What we've done is, as the 4 governing bodies and the greater community supported Cannon Air Force Base, which we've applied to the Office of Local Defense Cooperation grant program called Readiness Review. So what this does is it gives us the opportunity to go out for RFP, and currently we're out for RFP out. We will hire a consultant qualified to examine the areas Mr. Minton mentioned. I'll do my best to remember them, but water supply, infrastructure, energy, and energy security, as well as the tabletop exercise, which the tabletop exercise, you would simulate catastrophic situations affecting water supply, affecting energy and the like. And determine or identify ahead of time deficiencies or weaknesses that may exist in the water and energy and infrastructure supporting Canada Air Force Base. And so what this does then is, as the four governing bodies supporting the base, we now have a roadmap for, you know, what a literal punch list of projects would be that we could accomplish, you know, whether it be bolstering water supply, whether it be, you know, dealing with encroachment and land use around the base. You get the idea. But frankly, as Mayor Clovis and, you know, we all support Canon, but there's no shortage of ideas out there. You have the military support committees, you have your council, our commission, all working to do our best to support Canon, but then you still have folks come in and say, oh, we should do this, oh, we should do that, or I saw this happening, you know, Joint Base San Antonio, we should do it here. You know, what I love about this plan is it'll be database, data driven, and we'll have a punch list for what the top 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 items are. That if we could work together at the local governing bodies and put in, we're good to do that and support the mission readiness of the 27th Special Operations Wing. And so it's just a great opportunity for us to be organized and intentional in our support of the 27th South. Specifically, what's before you is approving your share. And when we did the share proportionate based on population, Clovis City Commission approved theirs last week, no pressure. But I just wanted to share, it's $29,000, nearly $30,000 that the city of Clovis had as their portion of that local match for our grant program. And as Mr. Minton alluded to, you heard about the DSIP grant program. Well, that's a grant program of OLBCC. And so having the readiness review plan in place strengthens any grant applications that needs to, or the other grant programs that they may apply to, you know, accomplish projects. Does that help?
That does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? What is the pleasure of the council? We have a motion by Mr. Merrick, a second by Ms. Parker. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, roll call.
Ms. Cordova?
That's why I say roll call for everything, yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Merrick?
Yes.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Rackler?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
And Mr. Self?
Yes.
It carries.
Thank you, Ms. Slopes. Okay, our next item is executive session. We are going to, oh. Okay, city council comments and staffs. We will start with the staff. We'll start in the back with Antoinette. You have anything?
Okay.
Ms. Rudd? Mr. Williams?
Just to give some stats from last month. So last month, our officers handled 72 incidents, in the reports they had to take. There's 242 traffic stops, or 30 crashes, took 687 calls, made 35 arrests, 6 of which were for DWI, and wrote 281 citations. This is all with still having 6 open positions that we have. We managed to get a few applicants in, we tested them. We're about 50-50 on if they passed the physical when they come through. We have had a couple have passed it, and then one is kind of hung up in the background phase because he's got ticket he's got to take care of, and that looks very promising. And then we have another one who's not getting the background packet done at all, not responsive to it. We've got 2 officers at first line supervisors training right now, so that's some of our more veteran officers who are getting prepared for future promotion possibilities. Basketball registration's open for the fall already. It'll be open a little longer than the fall sports was, since TJ had more time to go out. But the great thing is it's still on the same platform, everybody's registered with the fall sports on it, so. If their kids in there, they're not gonna have to re-add them, they'll just enroll them in the basketball. Homecoming is the 25th, we'll have a parade. And then the safe trick or treat will be on the square on the 31st. I believe it's a 3 o'clock or 3:30 start time, going to, I believe, 5:30. So we'll be out there for all of that. Tomorrow I'll go to the midpoint meeting at the academy, or to check up on our one that we have in there, which he's doing really good, he's still there. So it's always a plus. And then since it is October, you'll notice our officers will have the pink badges on. And pink badges for our support and all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes, ma'am. So as it stands, we've been fully staffed with our budgeted positions for 23 days. We have roughly 21 of our 30 personnel completely trained, with 9 to be trained, 7 of which are in EMS classes. 9. We have 8 of our 11 counter apparatus in service. All of our ambulances are in service. Last month, we had 282 total calls for service. 87% were EMS and 83% were inside the city limits. Average response time is 11.4 minutes. There's 93 instances where calls for service overran our response capability in the month of September. I'd like to congratulate firefighter Hector Garcia for obtaining his paramedic, will be coming next month. They're on shift to get his coin, as well as firefighter Salvador Ligoya, who obtained his EMT intermediate, so that he is PN for his intermediate for service and firefighter 1 and 2. As we mentioned earlier, it's fire convention month, so we've had big tours at the station already, with many more to come. With over 200 kids coming by to visit the station this month. Working on several grant applications that will be coming before you in the near future, and I did send out some samples if you would like to be a part of that process and give me a letter of support. It would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Ms. Combs.
It didn't really change, though. We still have 9 out of 10 of our positions filled. I am consistently getting applications from Miss Jenna, but we have 3 that are still in the in-house academy, so I'm kind of waiting for some of them to get finished, because I don't really have that many trainers. We did have one that got finished. The in-house academy was released on his own. I do have one going to the academy in Santa Fe, not the 19th. All of our dispatchers that are certified that needed to do continuing education credits are finished for the year. And I just some numbers for total month of calls for service that we received in our dispatch center this last month was 1,811. And the total phone calls that we received was 3,860.
Thank you. Ms. Richards.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, we've been busy. We've been getting applications that we're placing out to the departments as they come in. We're trying to do weekly reviews so that any applicants that can be considered are being considered in kind of matters, so that we're not losing any applicants due to time lapse. We just finished our 3rd quarter drug and alcohol testing. Thankfully, everyone was able to pass. So we were able to retain all our employees. We quarterly do that for our safety sensitive positions, so it's something that we maintain. We're going to be getting into our open enrollment on October 20th through November 20th. We'll have open enrollment for all our staff to be able to make changes to their benefits if they like. And we'll be participating in the trick or treat on the square and continuing processing and doing our daily operations within HR. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the library is fully staffed. We had a big month in September. We've got an equally big month for October. We'll be open to the public 27 days this month, and we will host 27 free programs this month as well. And we're lucky enough this month to have 3 different authors visit the library. So I invite everyone to come this Thursday at 5:30. Kathleen Rogers, who is a native of Clovis. She is releasing the Yano County Mermaid Club, and I think you'll recognize Clovis and Portales in her book. It comes out on October 21st. And then Teddy Jones, who is currently living in Brianna, she has a new book coming out called A Family of Good Women. She's put out several books that she'll be doing an author visit together this Thursday at 5:30.
And Altruisa Club has generously offered, or I'm sorry, not Altruisa. The Women's Club has generously offered to provide the refreshments for this Thursday morning, so we want to thank them for that. That's a big help to us. And then also on October 15th for our family night, we're lucky enough to have children's author Nancy Berry Riley is gonna be here. She's gonna be here for an Altruisa event on Thursday, but she's gonna come spend the evening with us to do Who Ate My Cactus, which is her newest book. So I invite everybody to come join us at the library this month. We've got lots of fun things going on.
Thank you.
I forgot all fancy and started standing. So we welcomed our new code enforcement officer on Monday. We didn't give him much time to settle in because we've been without a code enforcement officer for a while. So he started the process on 53 properties. As they started the process, because a lot of times you just get notification and the property gets cleaned up. The animal shelter, we had worked on our last inspection. They had a pre-inspection. They flagged some stuff, so we got the ramps installed, the tie downs done, the fencing has been done. The fire extinguishers are scheduled to be installed this week. And we're just waiting on a part that broke, but it was warranted by the original company. That part is already sent free and headed our way so we can get it fixed. We are still going through our grants for free services for the community. We've given 81 shots to county and city members. You know, come down Lois, take advantage of this. And we've had a lot of interest in our TNR and our free stay and really program, which is really exciting for us. It allows us to be more than just the bad guys who become a village, you can go back to your pets, but to do some business in the community as well. So, you know, if anybody in the community, within city limits, TNR, that meter release, and low income stay, there's more hospital.
Thank you, Ms. McVeigh. You're good. How about the clerks, Ms. Swopes?
I have a few things. The two clerks will be headed later this month, just in a couple of weeks. They'll be headed back to Ruidoso to go to Clerks Institute, this is our third year to go do that, and it is helping us accrue points so that we can get our CMC certification for municipal clerks. So we're looking forward to getting through this next year so we can finally get that CMC. That's going to be a big event for the both of us. I want to point out the obvious that today's large agenda packet was a piece, and I apologize. That's not my fault. Blame the people over there. A lot of work. They're turning in those items. So it was a struggle to get out, and it may have been a struggle for you
to read
and to read. And I apologize for that. However, it certainly made me hardcore pursue a solution. So I'm going to check with our IT director and see what would be available to us that we could do. Because I really hate sending them out that way, and I know it opens up the for failures, frankly, and I don't like that. So I'm going to try and resolve that for you so that won't happen again. I want to also mention quickly our agenda packet email group. A few weeks ago at a council meeting, we opened that up as a possibility for people out there to get into an email group that would allow them to receive the agenda packets. That was a struggle in itself this time because it was so big and almost every single one of them struggled in receiving it. However, there are 6 people successfully in the agenda packet group. And if you're interested in receiving the agenda packets, please email the city clerk, me, and I will get you on that group and you can receive the agenda packets. And that will be it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Carrillo? Good. Mr. Minton?
Great update on the Ute Water Project pipeline. I've been through it once before. I learned a lot right there. I was glad to hear it again. I'm gonna pick that up with the update that I received today from the engineers on Lime Street project. So the first phase of the Lime Street project of the booster pump station and the containment facility is at the 60% on 3 different documents. So I'll be reviewing those in the next few days. There's no outstanding project issues according to the engineers and contractor. So Lime Street's on track with that phase. That's good to go. Moving over to the South Avenue K project, we should see some tractors and ground being turned around the first week of December. It's the bottom line up front overall, South Avenue K, the street project is progressing smoothly. It remains on track. Construction should start, like I said, early December with full road construction taking place during the ENMU holiday period. We'll continue to coordinate closely with NMDOT and engineering partners to make sure that stays on track. No significant issues. And yeah, you should see construction there and towards the end of the holiday period, that portion of South Avenue or South Avenue K piece should be squared away. Subject to your questions.
Any questions for Mr. Mitch? No. Okay, we'll start over here this time. You're good, Mr. Lopez? Mr. Self.
Couple things, I had a citizen reach out on the church that's, we're working on abandoning. Can one of you tell me, I know we were putting it out in the papers and it was a process, but.
So the lawsuit, because we weren't able to actually serve Primitive Baptist Church. I did go ahead and file a motion and had Ms. Maurer sign off on the order allowing us to serve that system by publication in the newspaper for 3 weeks. We are in that time period. At that point, if nobody turns up and claims the property, I will be moving for a judgment, default judgment, in order for us to move forward with cleaning up the property and taking the lease. So we are in that time period. Waiting for anybody who might wait into that search to come forward, but otherwise, we're prepared to go forward with a default judgment, assuming that the court grants us time.
So 3 to 4 weeks, something else, the next step? Is that what
I
I
believe
understand?
last week was our first week, this week, and then the next week, probably that last week of October, first week of November, I will call that affidavit of publication with the court, and then we'll be at the court's discretion of when they set it for an actual hearing. Knowing Judge Mauer's schedule, I imagine that'll be probably sometime beginning of December because she does do criminal week and civil week. So we'll have to get on one of those civil dockets. So
Okay.
I imagine sometime by November, we should have a final resolution on that, assuming nobody turns up and tries to fight it.
Okay, thank you for the update. And then I know Steve is not here, but maybe Mr. Minton, you can help give me an update for Mr. Bonner for the State Farm insurance about the electrical and the cone that's been on the sidewalk for about a year. We can get an update on that.
I can get you an update. I don't have an update right
Yeah,
now.
no
Yeah.
problem.
Now, I had told somebody that was taken care of. I need to make sure it's the same. That what I'm talking about is the same thing as you're talking about.
Okay,
'Cause
I
I got
drove-
worked on one a couple weeks ago.
Okay, I appreciate that. I drove by the other day and that cone's still there, so I assume it's not done, but I'd just like to give him an update.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Don't want
Get
to
you an
forget
update.
him, so thank you.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Mr. Robinson?
No.
Mr. Rocker?
I'm good.
Ms. Parker?
Okay, again, street sweeper. I'm sorry. So we do have our street sweeper going, but yet we still don't have anybody to operate. Is that correct?
I'm gonna tell you, I think that's correct. Yes.
So slowly, maybe sometime soon. Yeah. Very good. Thank
Right,
you.
writing it down. You bet.
Eric?
I just want to commend everybody for getting everything together for our packets. I'm enjoying the synopsis that we're getting now. Kind of giving us an overview of each item on the agenda. Helps me tremendously to not come and hit you all with questions. So, hope that continues. Look forward to continuing to work together to make the city a better place. Appreciate Ms. Bowen for giving her presentation today. The work that she continues to do. Mayor Bill, Mayor Morris, sorry. Purple was just throwing. Thank you for your input on several items. Appreciate you being here.
Okay, well, I just want to say again, thank you to the staff for the efforts that are going into this packet. It was really big, and whenever I said read, I meant my reading, so thank you for bearing with me. And then I just like to thank everybody for being in the audience, especially our community partners. Today we had quite a big showing. We had RCCDC, we had Excel, we had the Water Co-op. Thank you, Ursula, for being here. We had the Ute Authority, and then Mr. Morris with City of Clovis, the Water Authority, and the the Military Support Committee. So I appreciate all of your input and collaboration. And with that, we will move on to the next item, which is executive session. So action to convene into a closed session to discuss pending litigation matters regarding Roosevelt County Water Cooperative and Austin versus City of Portales as provided for under the New Mexico State Statute Section 10-15-1, paragraph H. 7, meeting subject to the attorney-client privilege. So item A is action and to convene into a closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are in. Jeanette, you ready? Okay, so now we need action to convene into an open session. We have a motion by Ms. Parker and a second by Mr. Saul. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, item B is action as a result of the closed session. We just do have to state that only the items that were listed in the agenda were discussed, and at this time, no action is needed, and our next item is adjournment. Thank you guys for attending.